Switzer. Melanie will be joining us in about 10 minutes time. You know that gorgeous woman? I'll just bring the slide back up there. That beautiful lady in the top right corner there is a grandmother. Did you know that? And she's just hanging out with her grandkids right now, which is awesome. And I'm always the first one to tell anyone, spend as much time with them as you possibly can. I mean, her and I are both 52 years of age. Doesn't change the fact that the first 52 went fast, everybody, and the last 30 are going to go even faster. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And I will be checking the comments in Rumble, DLive, Facebook, Twitch, and wherever else we are broadcasting tonight. And I wanted to welcome everybody from last night's broadcast on TikTok, which went 3.5 hours last night. The questions just kept pouring in. And even though we had a whole whack of trolls watching last night, well, didn't matter. We blocked the trolls, and there will be some new folks joining us tonight. I'm looking very forward to it. I have to say that I feel really bad, really bad for a lot of the young men out there under the age of 30. I am getting more emails now than I've ever received in the last year. And it's mostly from young men under 30 who are trying to navigate this very bizarre world that they are in. And this very bizarre political world that they're in, but also this very crazy dating world that they are in. And I figured that with feminism being what it is, and a lot of these podcasters out there, these women, these female podcasters out there telling young girls, go out and get laid and do whatever you want. And then there's dating apps. What do we got here? We got Match, Tinder, Bumble, Grindr, like a whole bunch of crazy dating sites out there. I thought for sure that young guys would have no problem whatsoever jumping on these platforms and just typing in, I want to have a fling, and get a fling out of the deal. Right? That's what I thought it was going to be like, but apparently it isn't. Apparently it is incredibly difficult for young guys to get past a couple of really crazy things. Like number one would be the 666 rule that we talked about last week, which is 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, and 6 inches long. Right? That's crazy. That signifies way less than like 4 or 5% of men in all of North America. So you ladies out there who think that way, good luck. But how would you honestly expect a man under 30 to be making 6 figures? Where does that thought process come from? I think that we're all aware of the fact that the entire Canadian economy is dead. So how do you make that kind of dough? I actually had a great conversation with a young guy today. He was about 28 years of age. Actually, he was exactly 28 years of age. And he said that he was actually making $47 an hour. So his salary was just slightly under $3,000 a week. And he's still having a hell of a time keeping up on all of his expenses and paying off student loans and paying off old debts that he acquired in college, trying to get an education to get the 6-figure job. And it turns out that he's working as a driver of a very big truck in the oil fields in northern Alberta, which is not what he trained for. So he's paying off a student loan debt that is, quite frankly, useless to him. So I find that our young ladies out there, they're not sympathetic to this. And I find myself wondering why it is that they're not, because a lot of them have student loans of their own, especially if they're in a larger, I guess something like law or medicine, one of the more expensive courses out there. So there's this complete lack of sympathy for men. And it's not sympathy that men want, ladies. It's not even empathy. It's just understanding. Understand that in Canada and the United States in the year 2023, it is incredibly difficult to find that 6-figure job. Now, men, you guys get it built up in your heads that you actually have to pay attention to that 666 rule. What's wrong with being, 5'7", making $54,000 a year and only having a 4.5 incher? I mean, if the woman knows what she's doing, it's going to get bigger, right? For not the entire day, but for a short period of time. What is it with you guys that actually believe this to be the case in every situation? What's going on here is you guys are saying, well, they want 6, 6, and 6, and that's not me, so I'm not even going to try. Well, that's called defeatism. Defeatism, prime example that I can give you is, hey, Bill, go ask Steve if he can bring his truck over here tonight so that we can load the truck up and have ourselves a great party when we're done. Defeatism. Oh, he'll never go for that, man. Like, you just why? No, man. Defeatism. You didn't ask. Yeah, and it's a lot of the times, guys, you don't know how to ask. So you don't even try because you're lazy, and you're not trying because you know you don't have that carousing skill. If you want to get someone to use their truck, buddy, party tonight. All right, good one too. We just got to get 15 minutes worth of work out of the way. Let's jump in the truck now and get the job done. That's it. Talk to men like men if you're a man. And guys, still talk like a man when you're talking to women. Remember we talked about this a couple episodes ago where you don't want to be asking, hi, would you like to have a coffee date with me? Would you like to go to the movie with me? No. You tell them. We're going out for coffee right now. I know that Melanie disagreed with me on that one, which is fine. She's allowed to. She's a good friend of mine. She can disagree with me whenever she likes, and we will converse about that disagreement. But I also disagreed with her in that going out of your way to ask nicely and say please like it was 1936 isn't going to work. And it's not going to work because society has shifted, because women have become very self-centered and in many cases extremely unprincipled. And that's a problem. Being a principled person means that you will develop a good moral code, good principles, if you will, and you won't be influenced by the negative garbage that's in our society. And there's a whole lot of this negative garbage in our society. Hollywood is the biggest perpetrator of all of this. Hollywood's telling men, you're bad because you're men, and you're bad because you're men, and because we say so. And a lot of guys are listening to this, like the stupid tropes on TV commercials. Stop watching TV, where men cannot do anything right in a commercial. And the women know they have all the answers to everything in the commercial. The woman is the confident male figure out of the two of them. A prime example would be that stupid Ghostbusters movie that was all chicks. Remember that one? How crap that was? You had men being terrified of ghosts, literally crapping their pants. That was the first joke at the beginning of this movie. It wasn't funny. Wasn't funny at all. Portraying men, as screaming women is certainly not anything that anybody was laughing at in the theater. I only went because I had to see for myself how bad feminist rhetoric was. And believe me, it was awful. But young guys are paying attention to this stuff, and they're allowing it to get inside their heads. It's really messing with their psyche. So they're emailing me, asking me how do I approach women? How do I ask her out? How do I get a second date out of this? On TikTok also, there's a whole lot of men out there. They're under 30, but they're also over 25. And they're saying things like, I've never had a girlfriend. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking about giving up. It's because women have set the bar for themselves in orbit, but they have nothing to offer that would be above the tree roots. So, ladies, if you are asking where all the good men are, they're beating down your door. They can't wait to take you somewhere. They just might be 5'10" and 5 inches long, making $70,000 a year. They might only be making $29,000 a year, but they're still there wanting to treat you like an empress. And you're not giving any of them a chance because feminist rhetoric has told you that you're stronger and better and deserve more and so on. But the feminists also forgot to tell you that you need to earn that too. If you're going to state that you deserve better, you have to do something to show the outside world, including men in general, that you are better, that you're worth it. And something that we haven't done is explain this to society as a whole for at least the last 2 generations. Well, she made it. Here she is, the lovely Melanie Switzer.
Hi. Hello. All right. Thanks for.
There you go. Try it again.
Okay. Thanks for holding down the fort.
I can hear you. We're good. We're good to go.
Good.
Are you wearing makeup tonight?
Yeah, I always do, but maybe the lighting's different.
Yeah. Okay. So you're looking a little bit more red in the lips than usual. That's not a bad thing.
Oh, I put a different lip color on. Yeah.
Not a bad. Yeah. See, as a man, I observed you did something different.
Yeah, that's kind of impressive. I got to give you points for that.
There we go. So, gentlemen, here's a big rule for y'all. Every day, I know it's so annoying. It's so childish. It's look at her shoes, look at her hair, look at her makeup every day.
Yeah.
And if she got a hairdo, you got to tell her it looks great. Nice shoes if she has new shoes. We have to memorize what's in the freaking closet, guys. This is how women are. Like, they care about this crap. We don't,
Yeah,
at all. But this is what I have put into practice, Melanie, a long time ago, observing what milady is doing. And not even if she's not my lady, I still do it. You still got to make sure the ladies in your life, friends, good friends, aunts know, because I'm not sleeping with them and I'm not interested. But the women that I would consider compadres, friends, lovers, girlfriends, wives, whatever it might be, I am looking all the time. And it took a long time to even give a crap about doing it and then to actually do it. Let's start off with a question to you. Why the hell does this stuff matter so much?
I think it matters mostly, honestly, it matters because then we know you're actually paying attention and we know you're invested and you're interested. So when men mention those little things, it really goes a long ways.
Okay, so I have to be interested in everything. All right, so then I got to ask this. That's fine. I get it. We're giving advice here, but I got to ask this: what if you get a new hairdo and I can't stand it? Like, what if it makes me want to puke? What if it makes you look like a guy and I'm really angry about it? What do I do as a man?
Oh, honestly, my personal opinion is just be honest. Say, you know what? I actually liked it the other way. There are nice ways. You don't have to say, well, that makes me want to puke, because that's probably not the best approach. But I think it's okay to be honest and say, I like the other hair color on you, or I like the other cut better, suited you better, turned me on more, whatever you want to say. But yeah, I say stay sincere, be sincere.
Yeah, I remember I thought I was being funny, and it was funny. I laughed. But one of my ladies got a haircut like yours, and not every woman can pull that off. There are some women's faces that are not designed for short hair. They're just not. So she got her hair cut, and I asked flat out, "Who did that to you? I'm going to beat the living crap out of them." She says, "Why?" I said, I should have caught myself. I said, "It's the worst haircut I've ever seen." And I realized, oh, I'm not getting laid tonight. Oh, yeah.
No,
So,
yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, honesty, right? Women always say, I want an honest man who's always going to tell me the truth. No, you don't. No, you don't.
We do, but we don't want them to be dicks about it. There's kind of, there's two approaches to this.
I honestly, though, in that example, wasn't trying to be a dick. It was a matter of I was really disappointed.
Right.
And I guess it was more so she did not mention that she was getting her hair cut. Now, it's her hair. She can do what she wants. But if she was saying, I want to have a radical change in style, I would have said, maybe we should do some sketches with a pencil, or, because I had a Polaroid camera. Remember those? Snap a picture and this piece of white stuff comes out and you got to shake it in the air and eventually there's a photograph there. Well, I could have taken a headshot and we could have grabbed some magic markers and had some fun and, scribbled on the outside and think, okay, maybe here, but not like me. Right. So, and here's the other thing too, though, is that when a man says something like that, he's not being a dick for the purposes of hurting your feelings or making you angry. It's a matter of, whoa, he's taken back. He's got to say something about it, because if he doesn't say something at that exact moment, well, then it becomes awkward later on. If you ask me, like, what do you think of my hairdo? And I hate it. That's hair. All right. I mean, I can be a lawyer, right, and leave the room, but just get it out of the way, guys. If the hairdo sucks, get it out of the way. Ladies, talk to your man in advance. If your man is like over the top attracted to you and he loves your thick, luscious hair or your messy hair or your nap, whatever hair you've got, talk to him about it. Really. Like, do some drawings. There's got to be websites now, guys, gals, where you can put your face in there and change your hairstyle. I mean, there's software on my phone right now that turns me into a woman. It's hilarious. I make a horrible woman, by the way. God.
Yeah, I don't think you'd make a good looking chick at all.
Not once has the filter ever made me look as a woman. Not once.
Yeah.
So there we go. Well, to young men now, this is important, Melanie, and this is going to be for the men under 30, and then I'm going to move on to men of any age, and then we're going to move on to you ladies, because there's some things you ladies just don't seem to get about dating. All right, to the young guys out there, when you start dating and you start to get maybe a little bit past the third, fourth, and fifth dates and so on. So this is between the first and the fifth date. In this time, for whatever the reason, women under 30 always have to say, come and meet my friends. I don't know why. I would highly recommend that you don't until you're like on 10, 15, 20 dates, because friends are looking for ways to hurt you. Women are just ridiculously jealous of each other. So meeting a group of her friends is a bad idea. Exception to that rule, guys, is if it's some kind of really awesome party. All right, where you don't have to interact with them. You just, smile, great to meet you, great. Big smiles, and then don't talk to them. Go talk to the guys. All right, there you go. Now, guys, red flags. Let's talk about red flags of girls. I don't call them women under 30. They're girls. We have to use the young man's vernacular. If you do meet her friends, let's just say for argument's sake, she suckers you into going and you meet 4 or 5 of them. Are they hoes? You have to determine this immediately. Are they immature, rotten to the core hoes? She might be a good girl, guys. Really, I'm saying this. She might be the good one in that group. But if her friends are miserable, if she's constantly hanging out with loser friends and constantly drinking with these loser friends and getting high with these loser friends and going out and talking to other guys and so on, these loser friends are going to have a lot of influence over her in relation to you, but also in relation to her behavior. So when you've got a good woman who's around 4 or 5 rotten women, the odds of her becoming rotten herself are actually quite high. Melanie, this is something I've noticed about women. One woman in a room cries, they all do. One woman laughs, no one knows what the joke is, but they all laugh. I don't get this facet of the female animal. So let's talk about what I just said here. I got to get your thoughts. Go.
I don't think that applies to all groups of women, but I have seen it. So definitely it does apply to some groups of women. And I think that it's just because you happen to just take on, I think, the energy of people around you. So yeah, if you're hanging around bitter, jaded people, like women, for instance, who are man haters and basically miserable in life, you're probably going to absorb some of that energy, and inevitably uh, that'll affect your own behavior and your own attitude, your own energy that you're putting out there.
So then I'll just say it as a guy who's dated more women than you. I've seen this time and time again. When the girl that you're dating as guys has a good friend who's got a really positive attitude, it's a really good experience because she's happy for her friend. But I've actually never seen that more than twice in all my dating life, is a friend of a woman who's happy for her dating me.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not
Wow.
hanging around to find out who she's dating after me, but I've
Yeah.
only come across that twice that I can remember. And I can say that it was lovely. It was beautiful. Beyond that, most of the time they're standoffish. And then you've got a lot of the time, we'll say 30, 40% of the time, you've got that 1 or 2 toxic individuals who can't wait to spew evil all of the time. And it does influence her. And so guys, young guys, watch out for that, please. So if her friends are the dirty hoe tramp type, we're talking under 30 mostly here, they're going to constantly be trying to get her to do what they are doing. So if they want to go to a bar and get loaded and then jump on the dance floor wearing really tight clothing and whatnot, they're going to convince her to do it as well. Now, here's the thing. Those friends are most likely not going to want you there. They're all going to want to go out and say, oh, it's just the girls hanging out. No, it's a bunch of toxic women behaving like tramps. That's what it is. So if your woman is the good one and she's going to do this for the tramps, what you need to do is object, but you have to do it properly. It has to be done James Bond style, suave and debonair, saying, now, why would you want to hang out in a dingy nightclub with a whole ton of losers when we could do X? Pick it. What is X? When we could go to your favorite restaurant, when we could go to the museum she wants to see. There's got to be something that you know that she likes. Take her there. Don't say, why are you going to go with your friends? Because now you're a loser. You appear like that. They're losers. You can't be one as well. You have to smooth talk. Guys, if you really have a good woman and you really want to go somewhere with her, you have to make sure you separate her from these losers as much as you can. Melanie, go ahead.
Yeah, I could see where that would be beneficial. I must just have lucked out because I've got some great friends, and they're I'm surprised that so many women will drag their friends down and not be genuinely, sincerely happy for them, because I've just got some remarkable friends, I guess. And we're a good support system, and we do like our girls' nights out, but they're not toxic. They're actually positive and a lot of fun. So yeah,
Right. Well,
I guess, yeah, if you're around the toxic people, yeah, you should probably limit. I mean, women in general, if you're around people like that, you should know to limit the amount of time you spend around that group of people, just because of what it's the impacts and effects it's going to have.
yes, and I'm pretty sure that your girls' nights, I mean, I've come to know you, so I know that your girls' nights are not looking to pick up guys and do stuff in the backseat of a car somewhere and then come home and lie about it. That's not what your goal is. I get that. But these younger gals, it's amazing how often they do this, and they'll brag about it on TikTok. They'll brag about it
Wow.
on Instagram. And when they're asked about it, there's a lot of guys out there just walking around with their cell phones. Hey, have you ever cheated on your man? Like, oh yeah, just once. Is like, really? Really? Some loser walks up to you with a phone or a microphone and
Yeah.
asks you this, and you're answering this? I am
Yeah.
floored at how
Yeah. That's
stupid
crazy.
everybody under 30 seems to be these days.
Yeah, that's shocking.
It was shocking the first few times I saw it. Now it's just face palming, and it's also becoming the norm.
It's just like normal behavior. That's crazy.
But the guys are putting up with it. Like, the guys aren't just saying, "Really, you did? Okay, well, goodbye." You know, that's the thing there, boys.
I feel like the guys are doing it too nowadays. There's a lot of hooking up and not committing. So
Well, hookup culture, I think, has been around forever. It's just that now it's a bit easier to do it.
yeah.
But it's also a lot easier to get caught. I mean, you've got your digital footprint everywhere, your emails, your texts, your whatever it might be. And if you're not smart and delete these things on your phone, obviously you're
Right.
going to get caught. If you don't have a 75-digit password in your phone, you're going to get caught. Uh, it's cruel that you've got
Mhm.
people now, they finish having sex with their partner goes to sleep, they go to the couch and they're texting someone else looking for a hookup, as opposed to building that relationship up. So it's
Yeah.
become easy. Men and women are doing it, but we are right now addressing the young men out there, mainly because it's the young men are the ones now on TikTok crying about the fact that they are not getting relationships, and they haven't had girlfriends before, like 25, 27, 28 years old, never had a girlfriend. They're not happy about it. They don't know what to do. And then on
Wow.
the flip side of it, you've got all these young women all over TikTok and every other social media platform talking about the fact is, I don't need no man. Engagement ring's got to be $500,000. That's what it sounds like. And how do young men navigate that shit? Because it's
Right.
garbage. Right.
Right. Yeah. I
All
saw
right.
one of those. I saw
Go ahead.
our friend Jakob was sharing a um I think it was a TikTok, and I saw one of those women that was not really the kind of woman that would expect to have such high standards. But yeah, she was saying the $500,000 income,
Oh,
and
just say she was obese and ugly. Come on. Yeah.
yeah, and kind of nasty. Like I was just like, what? Yeah.
Well, this is what's happened with weak men in our
Mhm.
society, is that they've all become simps, and they're all on TikTok telling every woman on TikTok, regardless of how ugly they are, you're so beautiful. I want to make you my wife. So you're giving these ugly chicks who don't work out, who have no class, who don't want to have class, who have no manners. They don't have tact. They have nothing to
Yeah.
offer. They now believe that they're perfect 10s.
Yeah.
And so
Maybe that's
they've
it.
put the bar way up, and then they're single 5 years later and upset about it. And whose fault is it? No, gorgeous looking men like me. It's my fault. It's our fault. Weird. Gentlemen, there is something to pay attention to, though, in the same example. If you're a young guy, the woman you're dating is under 30, and she has a pack of friends that usually hang around. Now, if they're not hoes, as the vernacular states, then you got to judge their character. Each individual one of these girls, you have to man up, take charge of your life, and begin to judge each one. So you got to find out if her friends are actually able to maintain long-term relationships or maintain good friendships that are actually based on mutual respect. You got to start judging this on everyone your woman's hanging around. So if her friends, Mel, have nice boyfriends, and they treat their boyfriends well, and the boyfriends treat them well, there's no toxicity there, then that positivity is going to rub off on your woman as well. So you might want to encourage her to hang around that one, or have dinner and say, let's get your friends Stacy and Mark over here for dinner, and let's kick them out at 10 o'clock and go do stuff on the couch. Like, you can talk like this, and you want to make sure that you do have positive and sweet people around your woman. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not real big on the whole using the term judge people, but because I think there are circumstances, and not it does take two. So you can have a really great person who's had really unsuccessful relationships because she just chooses crappy guys. So I wouldn't be too quick to judge everybody, but definitely be aware of um, what they're like, and maybe what their patterns are, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I hate to judge somebody because I know it takes two in relationships, and I know that there's one friend in every crowd, and that's okay sometimes because we're all different. And yeah, I know groups of friends that have been together right from high school. Of course, we change a lot as we evolve, and a decade or two later, they're not all the same people, but they still run in the same social circle sometimes. And so yeah, you're going to have a mixed spirit, and that's okay.
Yes, it's a matter, though, as men, this is the type of thing that we have to man up and do. What I'm doing
Right.
is I'm encouraging all men out there to just man the hell up. Stop complaining about life and take charge of it. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do have a choice. Don't man up and be single and alone for the
True.
rest of your days.
True.
Yeah, there you go. Now,
Yeah.
also, guys, look at her friends' relationships and see if they're toxic. Let's say she's got 5 friends and they all have boyfriends, and even just 3 of them have toxic relationships with their boyfriends, arguing, screaming, fighting, insults online, derogatory speech, making fun of their guys. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
That type of toxicity is going to rub off on her.
Yeah.
I would say, not I would say, just do it. Limit your time around those toxic people. Don't let them come around. And if you need to, do things to piss them off, especially the chick. Piss them off in every way you possibly can, so they stop hanging around. Melanie, you'd be amazed at how well childish behavior as a man works to get women to go away. I'll just come right out and tell you what I did. There was a woman that was hanging around when I was married. This is like 20 years ago. There's one broad hanging around, constantly talking to my now ex-wife about how horrible I was, and the fact that he's always laughing, he's always clowning around, he's always out there having a good time, he's not serious. As it just kept going on. So there was one day, I knew that they were going to be having coffee at Tim Hortons. I knew which Tim Hortons it was going to be. I just showed up. I walked in to the Tim Hortons with my finger right in my nose and just scooping around saying, "Oh, hey, I had no idea you were here." Pulled my finger out and just smeared it on the table right in front of her, and walked. Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely, I did. And I just said, "Oh, you know what? I got a little bit of a cold. You may not want to touch the table now." So I went over to the counter and said, "Hey, see that chick over there? She's picking her nose and wiping it on the table. Can I get some Windex or something?" Oh, it pissed her off. It pissed her off. Something fierce. She stopped talking to us. Parfait. That little bit of childish behavior, Melanie, turns women off something fierce. And I know how to get rid of women. So, guys, you don't have to be rude or crass or violent. Well, crass you are. You're being crass with that particular thing. But you can get rid of them by behaving like a childish man. These toxic friends will just disappear because they can't handle it. Especially if
You
you
might,
don't care. Go ahead, Mel.
well, you might end up getting rid of your own woman if you do stuff like that too much. Because
Well, maybe, but I explained after the rotten individual left. I said, "Oh, thank God she's gone," and I politely stated everything, every reason why I couldn't stand her, and then I would ask questions. Like, do you not notice that every single time that you smile, she says something negative? Do you not notice that when you talk about your children, she starts talking about her dog and completely dominates the conversation? Like, have you not noticed that she doesn't want you to be happy? That she wants to bring you down? Have you ever noticed that? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the gears begin to turn. Oh, yeah, you're right. So, guys, we're men. We have to tell our women the truth about things like this. You cannot have rotten and toxic people hanging around. All right. We got a comment here. Billy Joe. I'm a young man, single for a very long time. I'm finally happy with myself and not ashamed to say it. In fact, it's made me stronger, not caring about needing a woman. It would be nice, but I don't need one. She could be a 10 out of 10 and a millionaire. That doesn't impress me anymore. I'm searching for a heart of gold and I'm getting old. Okay. Well, Bill, you're doing what I suggest to every man out there. You're working on you. You know, you're making sure that you are taken care of. You are happy. You are in the gym. You are reading books. You are getting to know you. And obviously, with that kind of comment, you're happy about it. And you got to remember that type of confidence and love in yourself, just it brings them around if you're putting yourself in a situation where women are going to be readily. Melanie, you're up.
yeah, I think that's important. And that's important for both men and women. Is take some time to learn to love yourself and learn to know yourself and your needs, your wants, the difference between the two, and be content being alone. Because I think once you're comfortable with that, then I think you're ready maybe to meet someone. And I feel like you just can't rush the right thing.
No,
Gotta
you
have
can't
some
rush it. Well, as Phil Collins sang, you can't hurry love. No, you'll just have to wait.
Mhm.
Blah, blah, love
Mhm.
don't come easy. Yeah, women are a pain in the ass. However, the rest of it goes, but yeah. So keep working on yourself there, Bill. Don't stop. No, I'm
Yeah,
single 3 years now. Yeah, don't stop. It's just how it is.
yeah.
And I happen to love being, Kevin J. Johnston. Oh, and by the way, ladies, for whatever the reason, y'all like y'all like the purple shirts on me, so I decided to put another purple shirt on. I bought two. Misty Wind always said purple gets you pink. We're gonna find out if that's true.
I've heard that the people who wear purple, that's a sign of sexual frustration, though. That might also be true.
Oh, is that part of some psychological textbook I forgot to read?
Well, some color thing. I had that was circulating a couple years ago. I'm like, oh, purple.
Hmm.
Interesting. So, I don't know if there's truth to it
I
or not, but
I kind of have an affinity for purple because I believe there's only one country in the world that has purple on their flag, and it stands out. I'm forgetting which one it is, but I've seen it. Nonetheless, ladies, throw it in the comments. Do I look good in purple or should I go back to black? Let me know. All right,
I vote
guys,
purple.
so vote purple.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
yeah,
voting purple.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
even
good.
though it says I'm sexually frustrated, you're voting purple.
Well, it looks good on you, so you
Oh,
might be
stop it,
both.
you. My God, you're embarrassing me. Guys, one more thing here. Actually, a couple more things on this point. Do her friends love drama? Does your girlfriend or the girl you're dating, do her friends love drama? Now, if her friends are unnecessarily immature and unnecessarily toxic, that stuff's going to rub off on her, on your lady, but it's also going to irritate the living crap out of you. And if that's going to be the case, then you have to go to my nose picking technique, or maybe ass picking technique, or maybe peeing on their car technique, or just walking around the house naked technique. You got to do something to get these very toxic people away. Now, the other thing that I want to bring up here is the ones that like drama, they will spend a great deal of time talking shit about you behind your back. They will do what they can to influence that lady, the good lady, to turn against you. Why they do this is beyond me. But if you are catching on to the fact that after she spends an evening with those toxic girls, she gives you any particular type of drama for the next couple of days, then you know it's those bad friends who are the bad influence. Melanie, you're up.
Yeah, I actually would agree with you on this, and I think that it is important, even as women, if you have friends that love drama. I'm not saying unfriend them if they've been a friend a long time, but definitely just limit the amount of time you spend, and don't let yourself get sucked into that, because um, we all have some friends that love drama, and what happens is that they like company in that, so they'll pull you into their drama because they like to talk about it. They like to be validated about it, and so yeah, they'll kind of pull you in. So you
Mm-hmm.
just gotta, yeah, be cautious, and it's okay to draw some boundaries with some people and limit the time you spend with certain.
Yeah, you can do that. Now, I know you guys under 30 won't be brazenly obnoxious like myself. I know you guys under 30 haven't really caught on to the fact that you are completely and totally allowed to take control of your life. Me at this age, I just tell people, look, I don't like you. Do me a favor, get lost. You know, I would, if I was involved with someone now and they had a really hyper toxic friend, I would just tell them, take your shoes, put them on your feet, get the F out, and don't come back. You're not welcome here. It's really that simple. And then I would justify that. Sorry, justify is not the right word. I don't justify myself to anybody. I would just explain. This is why I threw her out. And here's 14 reasons that I've written down. I've got a few more. Would you like to hear them all? And if you're going to be angry with me, well, you can leave too. Come back tomorrow when you're a bit more calm. That's me at my age, Mel. I'm always a big believer in there's the door, because if I don't like something, I use the person's door. And I will call a couple days later and say, hey, listen, things blew up. I'm not angry. You want to chat about it? Yes or no? Now, not all you guys out there are that abrasive and that forward. So you're going to have to find softer methods to deal with these issues, because ultimately I never regret my choices, Melanie, and I'm to the point.
My thing is, like, okay, at our age, I have had friendships that have outlasted my relationships. I've had friends that have seen me through three serious relationships in my life. And so friends are important, and sometimes the friendships do last longer than the relationships. So just be cautious as to what friendships you're discarding, because yeah, there's different dynamics involved with different friendships, but I don't think it's wise to let someone new come into your life and dictate to you who you can and cannot socialize with. So there should be some compromises. If there's a person that the person you're dating is friends with that you really just can't mesh with, but I mean, allow them to see that person outside of the relationship occasionally. I think it's kind of delicate, because friends are important, and sometimes friends do outlast relationships. So discarding those sometimes, it's that's risky.
Well, I get what you're saying. And I've had to end friendships in the past with men, and women,
Mhm.
because we're going down different pathways, and those pathways are, um, well, they're not in balance. They're becoming adversarial. So you have to in
Yeah,
some cases. But if you
yeah,
have
and that's
good friends, well, I'll just put it to you this way, guys and gals. You know your friend is a good friend when you feel better about life in general after you've spent time with that friend. Doesn't matter what the activity is. But if you're angry and aggravated and frustrated and just not even knowing why, reconsider who and what that person is, because they're going to interfere with not only your life, but your relationships and the lives of everybody else that you have influence over. That's all I'm saying. Don't
yeah, that's
throw friendships away, but judge them. Maybe, Melanie, I would say this to everybody, not like men and women. Every year, just rethink and reanalyze everything that you've got and who's in your life, and are they helping or are they hurting? I've had to terminate 3 friendships this year
Mm.
just because we were going down different pathways, and we were becoming not necessarily adversarial, but it was becoming extremely stressful to be dealing with people that have such a different goal than my own. And our
Mm.
goals were actually getting in each other's way. So, yeah, you wish them the best. Thank you for everything you've done. It was great to know you, but we do
Mhm.
have to go our separate ways.
Yeah, and that can happen, and that's, yeah, if that's not necessarily a bad thing if they're not fitting into to your overall mental wellness. So yeah, sometimes you
Yes,
gotta.
that's a good way to put that. Yeah, your mental wellness and mental health and so on. Um, the last thing on this point for the guys and the gals under 30, and that is, are her friends, are these friends that she has, are they doing anything with their lives? Are they just sitting around complaining about everything, or are they out there helping people, volunteering their time, working, and just doing anything that's positive?
Mhm.
You really need to judge this, guys. This is very important, because a woman, girl, whatever, who's doing nothing with her life is going to find ways to be angry. They're going to find ways to upset themselves. They're going to find things to be offended over, and then they're going to have emotional reactions that are only real to them. Then they're going to expel that emotional crap onto you and then get angry with you that you don't care or you don't understand. And there's nothing worse, guys, than when one of your girlfriend's friends is angry with you. Holy shit, Melanie, there's nothing worse than that. Period. I got to get your take on this. Go ahead.
Well, I think you gotta be like I think there's gotta be some lenience in case there's a friend that's going through a season, because that happens. So you don't want to not be there for someone who's going through a season of change and needs to kind of recollect herself. So I mean that can happen. So I guess you'll know that when that's happening. So if there is a person who seems to be a little bit of a lower vibration and maybe just not excelling at life in general as much, it might just be a season. So be patient, wait that out for certain people if they're someone that's important to you and special to you. But yeah, overall, I think that you tend to um, excel when you're around other people that are excelling. If that sort of energy and that
Mhm.
camaraderie and support is contagious. So yeah,
It's absolutely true.
yeah,
The more people that you hang around that are doing less than you, the more you're going to do less. And
yeah.
that's just an absolute fact. Now, guys, as men, we want our women to be doing more, not because we want them doing favors for us all the time, but just more for themselves. Because when they're doing more for themselves, they're happier. When they're happier, the relationship is better. And
Right.
as men, I said this before, I say it again, sometimes we have to force a really toxic, horrible female friend away. As for men, it's a different story with men there, Melanie. Men tend to not be toxic. There tends to be, in many cases, with a circle of male friends, there's the alpha, there's
Hmm.
the second in command, there's the jester, and then
Okay.
there's the betas, right? But
Okay.
that culmination of men works incredibly well. So
Hmm.
if you were to have that group of men come over to the house, they're going to be respectful, because it doesn't matter if you're at the alpha's house, because he's going to keep you all in line. And it doesn't matter if you go to one of the beta's houses, because the alpha is still going to keep everybody in line. And the lieutenant will do the same thing. And the jester is just going to do his thing and make everybody laugh. So the dynamic of friendship with men is considerably different than women, hands
Mm.
down. So when women don't like a male friend of their man, it's for entirely different reasons. Probably more so because those friends or that friend is taking the man away from her time. But if you have a different take, I want to hear it.
Um, I think that might be one reason. Another reason is that some men are obnoxiously abrasive, and that's okay in the company of men. But not all women like that, so that can be off-putting. So yeah, um, but it's so important to try and mesh those worlds, a new partner and the friend and the family. It really is important because those are all important aspects and elements of your life before that person. So yeah, gosh, it's not
Yeah.
easy, but it's
Well,
important.
no, it's not easy. I get that. And there's been many of my friends' wives that don't like me because I walk in the room. Obviously, I'm the loudest guy in the room, and the energy level of all the men in the room will increase when I walk in. That's just how it is. And that's my gift. And they'll interpret that as I'm stealing their man. It's like, no, 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 I'm heterosexual. I'm not taking your man home with me. I want nothing to do with him naked, period. I don't know why it's so upsetting when the energy level comes up and then it drops back down when I leave. And I know this to be true. It's been explained to me time and time again, but I've also observed it on my own. So yeah, I'm not popular with every woman out there who's already attached to a male friend of mine.
Yeah.
It is what it is. When I was younger, I would get kicked out of their houses. After a select age, I think some women become smart enough to realize that, Kevin's loud, he's abrasive, he can be obnoxious, but he's got your back. If you're a friend of mine, I've got your back. And older women over 40 will appreciate that and not say much about it. It's just that, Melanie, women have very different friendships than men do.
Mm-hmm.
They're not based on camaraderie. They're not based on mutual respect and admiration. They're not based even on compliments. It seems to always be a competition of some type, but nobody knows what the prize is. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'll get your take on this, but that's how I've seen it for the last 52 years of life. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sort of acquainted with a lot of groups of women, and I've seen that scenario and I've seen that dynamic. But then I've seen the other side of women friendships where they are supportive and values based and aligned with like common interests and attitudes and aspirations and things like that. So yeah, I think that if you're in that kind of a friend circle where it's always competitive and no one's cheering anyone on, you probably could find some better friends.
Yeah, because there's a huge difference in the way men and women will react to simple news. Guy walks in the room. I'm getting married, mofos, right? And all the guys, yeah, all right, man. High five, slap on the back, sit down. Let's have a couple of beers. Hey, waitress, all right, we want 50 wings over here. Let's figure this out, right? The guys are happy for their male friend.
Yeah.
Happy. A woman who comes in the room says, I'm getting married. Of course, it's going to be more subtle. You've got the couple of women who are married or in solid relationships. They're happy, but the ones who are single instantaneously just sink. And it becomes vitriolic, but it's a hidden vitriol. It's where they're pretending to be happy and they're friggin' angry. That is bizarre. What
It
the
is.
hell is that? Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh boy, I wish I knew. And you know what? I've seen it. I have a few acquaintances like that, and even a few family members where it seems, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand the psyche behind it. Why you just can't allow yourself to be genuinely happy for other people. But there are people out there that they just can't do it, and I don't get it. I wish I had an answer for you, but it's a mystery to me.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a friend of mine. He's no longer a friend of mine. He actually tried to steal my house and my wife about 5 years ago. But when he made a phone call saying, "Hey, my wife's in labor. Can you pass by the house and feed the dog?" Yeah, no worries, man. There's a key waiting in the backyard for me. I fed the dog, and then I get a call from him saying, it's a boy, man. Like, I'm screaming, yeah, it's friggin' great. So I shot over to the cigar store. I bought cigars. I went right down to the hospital. I had him paged. He comes down. I said, dude, I know you got to be with your woman, but come on, we got to light these up outside for 5 minutes. Take a break. We shoot outside, cigars, cheers, high five, clapping, cheering. I said, hey, you got a name yet? And he explained the name and the reason why. I said, oh, I don't smoke, but we're puffing and kind of coughing. Yeah. I said, good, get back in there. Go, get out of here. I'm legitimately very, very happy for the guy. I've
Yeah.
never seen women react like that ever in reference to it. I see the the kangaroo hop. Oh, hee haw, oh, yeah, yeah, but it's not real.
Mm,
It never seems legitimate to me. It always seems like it's a forced thing because the behavior when women are clapping and cheering, doing this,
yeah.
it's the same no matter who they are. It's like some taught lesson that they had. Here's how to pretend you give a crap. And the dance is, oh, wow, wee, wow, woo. I don't know, man. I'm not sold. I'm not sold
Mhm.
that that's real.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it some cases it might be, but a lot of times it's probably very ingenuine. Um, you know what I wonder, like, I'm thinking back to my old Bible study days, and is it just our sinful nature? Is that's one of the 10 commandments is not to covet, but we just can. And I mean, I'll admit that I've even found myself slipping into that where you're envious of something someone else has. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe people are just not happy enough with their own situations and their own lives, and they can't really help themselves. I'm not sure.
It requires more thought, I think, but this is something that I'd like everybody watching to pay attention to. It is okay to be happy for your friends and your family members when they share good news with you. Be happy, man.
Mm,
Congratulate them. You know, if you have a crappy situation going on in your life, remember this, it's not going to last forever. It will come to an end.
yeah.
You know, you've got the wave theory or the pendulum, it'll swing, whatever. Pick your idiom. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be bad forever. So even if you are down the dumps, be happy for your friends. Okay, men, here's something, Melanie, and you're definitely going to have something to say on this. I know. Mixed signals in the dating game. This is something that pissed me. Oh, as a young man, I fell for it. It pissed me off to the point, though, where I hit 25 and I thought, this is bullshit and I'm done. Mixed signals. So this is when women, they're always giving you mixed signals. They're completely inconsistent. Today, they're happy to see you. Tomorrow, they're not so happy to see you. Thursday, they're horny as hell and they're all over you. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you don't even hold hands. Mixed signals. There are women out there, they make this conscious choice, Melanie, to make the man that they're dating or their boyfriend or their husband feel anxious. They You don't know where you stand with her and she likes it. Now, the only thing I can say is that that's a power play by a very sinister individual.
Mhm.
But let's get your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
That's actually what I was going to say is that I think that's a game that certain personalities play. And I've seen it equally the other direction. I've seen men do it too, where they keep the women guessing, and I don't understand it, but I think that it is a psychological issue um, that people might want to address because I it's unhealthy. It's incredibly unhealthy. If you want a decent relationship, you want a good, solid relationship that's loving and nurturing, then you need to be consistent in how you're making that person feel. I don't care if it's from the man or the woman.
Well, I agree with that. And guys, drift, split, run,
Yeah.
pick one, fly the friggin' hell away. You don't want to be around the mixed signal woman.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, Melanie, like this is me remembering when it was done to me as a younger man. I was always upset. What did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? She's mad at me. What did I do wrong?
Mhm.
And then I hit 25 and I realized this shit's a game and I'm not putting up with this. As soon as I get that kind of mixed signal, I would just go date someone else. I wouldn't even tell them, just gone. And I get a phone call saying, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" "Oh, I got a date tonight." "What?" And they'd scream at me. I said, "Well, you're not interested. All right. You had your shot and that's it. But you got to be a strong enough man to just walk away. And as men, Melanie, if you're sleeping with someone, it's real tough as men to walk away from sex. Believe
Mhm.
me, I know. I've got stories about that'll make you cry. Right? But guys, walk. Have some self-respect and walk.
And
All
I would
right.
give the same. I would give the same advice to women if they're dealing with that. Just yeah, you can do better.
You can do better. Men, though, when it appears like it's a mixed signal, it's usually just the guy is busy or distracted.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
the average
in
guy does not consciously say, I'm gonna mess with this chick's brain. That's not how we think. We don't have
mm,
time for that nonsense. So if I am, let's just say, and this has happened, with some ladies that I've seen for a short while, they send me a text. I don't reply for 2 hours. When I'm done at the gym, I text back saying, hey, just finished my workout. What's going on? And smiley face or a thumbs up. Um, it's not playing games. It's that I'm focused on a personal goal. And
right.
I'm telling you, I'm not taking phone calls when I'm doing weights. Forget it. I'm working on me. That's my time. And I've done things where I head out with the boys and we've got some activity going on and we all say, you know what, guys, let's leave the phones in the car. We did this just 4 days ago. Me and the boys went to the pool hall, left the phones in the car, and we had a great time. We had a great time.
Okay, but in that scenario, if there is a woman that you're talking to and she's messaged, then it takes only seconds to say, "Hey, I'm going out with some guys tonight. I'll text you later when I'm done." Or, that just so that women don't feel like they're being put off. Because I think there are men that play games and there are men that will wait till the next day intentionally to send a text or a message. And it only takes a matter of seconds to send a quick text.
But you're right, first off. Okay, I agree. But you friggin' ladies, if a guy texts you back within a couple of minutes, he's desperate. If the guy waits 2 hours, he's playing games. If the guy's too happy in the 5 texts in a row that he sends, he's too happy. There's something wrong with him. If the guy's angry, he's a psycho. So, what do? Well, ladies, what you should do is this: pay attention to your man's pattern. All right. If he gets back to you within an hour and if that's consistent, then he's interested in you. And you'll find, Mel, like a lot of times if you're macking on some chick and you're meeting and you're doing all the flirtation stuff back and forth, as men will say, hey, listen, I got to jump into this meeting for the next 3.5 hours, but hey, can we talk at 10:30? You guys will do that. And typically women they'll do something stupid like the thumbs up or the smiley face instead of saying, I'm looking very forward to the call. You ladies have got to reply back, make it think that you care.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are men that play games.
Yeah.
We call them beta cucks. We call them losers. And the men in my friendship circles don't hang out with guys like that because, oh God, they're pussies and they're annoying. They're just so annoying. All right. Okay. In the texting game, guys, we as men, we will do our bit to communicate. We really will. All right. More so than women will. And let's just be honest here. So if you're the girl you're hitting on or macking on or dating or whatever it might be, if she's not taking the time out of her day to return your text, but something where she gives a crap, when you say, hey, hope you have a good day, some women out there say that's too generic. Well, what's wrong with you replying back saying, I'm having a great day and I hope you are too, and comma, I'm looking forward to talking to you later on. But you too, that's not communication at all. As men, we're going to look at it and go, what? And eventually just F it, man, we're done. So when you're not getting the reply, guys, if she doesn't care how your life works, if she doesn't care to catch on to your schedules and who you are, she'll show you by a lack of texting or by a lack of returning your phone calls within a reasonable time. I'll give you an example here. There's one gal I was talking to. 1 second. I just want to give you the dates of these texts that went back and forth. Because I kept these. I'm not going to give you her name. And I'm not going to give you any photos. All right. So we made a date to go dancing. I get to the bar. I said, Just checking to see if you're here. I'm in the back. I'm still at home. We're meeting at 7, my mistake. And at 6:55 p.m., I'm still home. Then I ask, would you rather meet somewhere closer to you? An hour later, I'm just not feeling great. I'm tired. Well, I've already left. I'm already playing poker with the guys. Okay. So I'm just seeding the vote here. About 5 minutes later, I ask her, just want to get clarification on your decision for this evening. 2 minutes later, I'm staying in. An hour and 3 minutes later, sorry about tonight, heading to bed. Good night. Okay, that was on, what was the date on that one? That was October 27th. All right, so with this kind of behavior, I think, not interested. She's not interested. And I've got a life to live. 2 days later, good afternoon. That was at 2:00. I waited an hour. I wasn't going to rush calling her back. I said, good afternoon. I just have 4 minutes left in my Zoom call, and I'm going to take a 10K walk, which means I've got 2 hours to chat if you want to talk. Her answer, just finished job interviews. That's not what I asked you. So I ask, because I know how to make conversation, how are your prospects looking? I'm not sure. How many have you had so far today? 4 so far today. I don't hear from her for 3 days. Right? Sorry, I didn't hear from her for a week. My fault here. On Tuesday, hi. That's it. A week. Hi. All right. Hey, I'm on a Zoom call. Can I call you at 9:30? 2 minutes later, yes. Nice. I'm going to grab some tea right after my call and give you a call. She says, okay. And then the conversation that we have on the phone was her complaining about not having a job. Not, I did this when I was younger. I want to do this when I'm older. It's, I want a job so I can pay off my house. That got repeated 4 or 5 times at least. Okay. This is not interesting. So I'm just going to step back, let her do her thing. She's not interested and not an interesting person. There you go. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you who, because I don't embarrass people, but I want you ladies to understand that as a man, especially a creative man, that's bullshit. That is not talking. That's not conversation. That is not someone saying, hey, I'm interested in talking with you. That is somebody who's inwardly focused and has a set goal that obviously is not lining up with mine. So I don't get angry about this stuff, but I'm pointing it out so that all of you don't get caught in these silly little conversations. Period.
Yeah.
And Lynn says, she's laughing here, saying, sadly, she seems not very interesting. Well, obviously, no, not very interesting at all. But the idea, folks, what I'm getting at here is if someone is not replying to you shortly thereafter, like in a couple of hours is fine. We're in our 50s. We're busy. I get it.
Yeah.
But a week? Yeah. And all I get is hi?
Yeah. I had that once. When I was on the dating site, was talking to a few different people, and then just kind of stopped hearing from one guy, and then it was like a week or maybe even longer, and that's what I got, a hi. And I said, oh, hey, I said, did you crash and burn with the rest of your cycling through your list again? That's sure how it seems.
It's bizarre, isn't it? I know people are
probably going back to their text. Oh, okay, let me try this one again.
Well, guys, the reason I brought this up is it's not your responsibility to run the entire conversation. When you're dealing with an adult woman, she should have questions of her own. She should have stories of her own that don't pertain to the cute thing her dog did. Really, like, just if she's not telling you stories or asking you questions, and you find yourself bored or scratching your head thinking, what? Huh? Just walk. Just
Yeah,
go.
yeah. If it's that early in the relationship and you're already bored, that's not a good sign. It's not going to get any better. So,
Well, I'm all about communication. All right.
mhm.
Here's the thing with me, and I think there's a lot of men out there like me. I will make decisions with no shame whatsoever based on the information I have at that exact moment. And if my woman's not going to communicate with me all of the details that I actually needed to make the decision that suits her, too bad. Too bad. And if you're going to bitch and moan, I'm going to tell you, there's the door. I'm not listening to it. The next time you want something done your way, give me every detail. Now, this is a conversation that I can tell you right now is someone, or has alluded to me knowing this is somebody who will be exactly that person, who will leave out every detail that I need and will be angry with every choice that I make. Ta-da. So I'm going to save myself the headache and end this and not be angry about it. Just move on. Lynn's saying, red flag for me. If there can't be an interesting text convo and it continues every day, I walk. And Lynn, so you should. Why would you stick around for something that's not engaging and stimulating? I mean, as a heterosexual man who loves gorgeous women, sure, sex is great. But my God, I really do want to have a conversation that gets me thinking. I want you to occupy my mind as well as, you know what? Please keep the conversation going. Find something to talk about. You know, even my son and my daughter, when they were 3, all they would do is just point at things and tell me what they see. That's more interesting than what I just went through here.
Yeah.
All right. Think about that. All right. Men, if your woman ever says, you make me feel like a woman, then you're doing things right. And you know the one thing that you're doing right to get that? Melanie, take a guess. No, I got to see if you know.
The one thing they're doing right to get that,
Right. The one thing you're doing right. If she says, you make me feel like a woman, what is the guy doing right to get that response?
I think that he is being a man and taking
You
control
got it.
and
You got
having
it.
the right energy.
He's being a masculine man. You got it.
Yeah.
That's all that it takes, guys. So never mind this beta cuck behavior crap. Put down the video games. Stop dressing up as fucking Batman and get out and be a man. All right. Your woman is going to appreciate that. And other women in the room are going to do so. I cannot believe, Melanie, how many guys in their 40s and 50s dress up like Princess Leia and get together with other guys who dress up like, I don't know, Darth Vader or Yoda or this stupid crap. And they get together and they go wong, wong with fake lightsabers. What the hell's the matter with you guys? That's not masculine at all. That's what children do. Get away from this extended youth, this extended childhood that you all want to be a part of. You're all, you losers who do this stuff. You're asking me, why can't I get a chick? And then I'm asking you about your lifestyle. What do you guys do for a good time? Well, I go to comic book conventions and I got a great costume. You know, if you're an adult man and you're going to comic book conventions in a costume, you should be the following. Are you ready for this? One of the vendors selling something, or one of the staff handing out flyers, or dad taking your kids there, or Uncle John taking your nieces and nephews there. You should not be there alone getting together with guys. And, hey, look at my Batman. It's so cool. I had it custom made, $140. That's what the problem is with you guys out there. You refuse to be masculine. And it pisses me off, Melanie, because there's so few dudes out there that I can have a masculine conversation about cars or muscle or chicks. These guys know nothing about women. So, I mean, I could say something like, hey, guys, you know, I gave it to her that way, and they're laughing, but it's with envy. They don't have stories of their own to locker room talk back. So when a woman says that, guys, it's because you're being masculine. And if you're not hearing that from a woman, rethink your entire life. Melanie, you're up.
Yeah, that's the key. I think we've lost that in society. So And I think we crave that more than we even realize. So, but there is a way for men to be masculine and still gentlemen at the same time. So, as long as guys are clear on that, because masculine doesn't mean macho and over the top. But yeah, be a man, step up.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, guys, like masculine does not mean walking around town, slashing tires and kicking cats and whatnot. It actually it's quite the opposite. It's walking around town with your head up and your chest out. You got a great looking lady beside you here. You you tell her, I'm going to take you out for lunch. What are you in the mood for? All right. And then you just go and you walk her across the road. You're holding her hand. You got the elbows locked up. You open the door for her. Right. You pull her chair out. And not only are you holding the door open for her, but anybody else who's walking in, you are the leader. And as the leader, as a masculine man, you're the guy who's going to exhibit good manners everywhere you go. You're going to be like James Bond, shaken but not stirred. You're going to be that guy who can break someone's neck in a second, but you'd never know it because you're just so damn polite. That's masculine. Oh, and by the way, masculine guys pick up kittens and play with them, especially when your woman's with you. All right. Masculine men can actually show more love than these beta cucks can.
Yes.
That's the truth. That's masculinity, guys. Make sure your woman sees that part of you.
Yes.
For sure.
We like it. We like it. Yes.
Thank you, Mario. Mario agrees 100%. Certainly appreciate that. By the way, check out Mario's hair. That's a pretty masculine haircut, guys. All right.
Yeah.
That's 70s style. All right. And that's all right. All right.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Lynn says the man fixing things in the house, helping with dinner, affectionate and respectful. Masculine. I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. Okay, good. So moving into the next point here. With that, guys, when you're being hyper masculine as such, and you're ignoring all the beta cucks out there telling you not to be, she actually does feel like a real woman. You're allowing her femininity to come to the surface because women will gush when they're being treated well by a masculine dude. And also, Melanie, a masculine dude who has put, as you've said, boundaries into place. There are set things that I just will not tolerate in a relationship, period. I say that at the beginning of things and I'll stick to it. But so long as we're outside of those boundaries being broken, everything's going to be fine. Period. And I'm sure the ladies that I get involved with will always tell me what their boundaries are. Okay. Masculine guy will respect those too.
Yeah. I think as long as boundaries are set respectfully, then yeah.
Yeah. I don't say stupid things like, you got to take it this way. No, never mind. No, it's not stupid rules, guys. It's just what will you put up with because things that you're laying down as a boundary need to essentially protect your integrity. I'm not putting cocaine up my nose, and I'm not going to hang around you if you are, and I'm not going to date you if you are. So if you start doing coke during our relationship, we're done. I want nothing to do with it. Boundary. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. A lot of you are crying about being single for a long period of time. Can I just be honest here, gentlemen? It's not the bitches out there. That's what you guys are saying. Women and bitches. It's you. You've been single for 3 years. $50 says you haven't changed a single thing that you've been doing for 3 years. When you do what you've always done, you get what you always got. So shake it up for yourself, guys. Change your patterns. Go to the gym if you don't go to the gym. If you do go to the gym for a certain type of training, change that up too. Add to your repertoire. You guys got to join clubs. You guys have to get out there and talk to people. The biggest reason that you're single is that you're not exposing yourself to other human beings, period. Or if you are, it's the same group all the time. You got to get out and meet new people. So gentlemen, do what Einstein, or just take his advice. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You guys got to shake that shit up, man. I'm telling you. And don't blame women for getting it wrong. You just have to keep trying. All right. Some chick thinks you're a creep. Okay. So what? Move on. There's many more out there that won't. For every chick who thinks you're a creep, there's another one on the opposite side of the scale who doesn't. You got to keep trying. Melanie, you're up.
Yeah, no, that was well said. That was all really well said. There, there's all kinds of people in the world, and we just need to put ourselves out there. And yeah, if you're finding yourself single for a prolonged period of time, yeah, take a look in the mirror and ask maybe what you could be doing differently, because the same patterns do bring us the same results. So, and it is hard. I mean, I think generally a lot of people out there right now have this attitude to not be too committal, because there could be something better just around the corner, because I'm seeing that with a lot of people, and that's unfortunate. But there's still some good people out there, so you just gotta put yourself out there,
Mhm.
change it up a little bit, change your social settings, your circle, your patterns, your habits, your hobbies maybe, and expand yourself a little bit, grow.
Oh,
Don't be
and
afraid
if
to
your
grow.
hobbies, guys, are the kind of hobbies that chase women away, like 12 hours a day of video games, yeah,
Right.
change hobbies, maybe.
Yeah.
you know, honestly, dressing up as Superman all the time and pretending to fly is not cool.
Right.
I mean, it's cool when you're 9. That's awesome. But
Uh,
when you're 42,
yeah.
it's freaking horrifying.
I mean, there might be chicks out there that do it too, and you might find the love of your life that way, but it's probably kind of rare. Yeah.
It's not as common as the guys out there wish it was. But
Yeah.
see, the reason that women get into this cosplay, this costume play stuff, is
Mhm.
it's more so because they just like the attention that they get from it. The more
Oh,
extravagant the costume, the more attention they get. And of course, because men are stupid, we go, oh, she's so hot. Look at the Sailor Moon over there. Oh, right? She might say something like, I've got an OnlyFans page. Do you really? Well, if I just give you $50 of my money, you'll be my girlfriend, right? That's how these losers see it. And OnlyFans exists because there's so many losers out there who absolutely cannot wait to avoid contact, avoid talking to women in public and hiding behind their screen. Guys, it's not going to work. OnlyFans chicks will never be your girlfriend. They don't care about you. They want your cash. It's not even them who are typing messages back to you. All right. OnlyFans is a scam. They get the chicks posing for pictures. That's all the girls do. They're not the ones talking to you. Get that into your heads, all of you. Period. I've got an email here, and yes, ma'am, I will keep. Oh, sorry. Ooh, oh, actually, you're kind of cute. Ooh, I retract ma'am and say, hey, what's up? All right. But no names. I promise, no names, no names. I've not dated any men for 4 years. Now that's unfortunate. Since the second time my ex-husband and I split up, which is a permanent split, one main thing is holding me back from dating. Where do I go to find where do I go to find like-minded singles when there are so many liberals out there? Okay.
yeah.
Geographically speaking, I can answer this partially. Geographically speaking, we have to judge where we are in the world. If you're downtown Vancouver, oh, forget it, man. You're done. Like that is left-wing libtard central. If you're in Edmonton, where Melanie is, tell them, Mel. It's
It's
libtard.
not great. It's not great. You might have some luck at a freedom rally, but
It's
that's,
mind.
yeah, it's
I don't,
embarrassing.
I
It's
don't know
absolutely
how
embarrassing.
anybody's ever had children in that city in the last 3 decades. It's so okay. Now, getting a bit serious here. There are cities that are conservative. Ottawa is somewhat conservative. It's very boring. God, Ottawa's so maybe I should get you to tell me where you are. But the idea is we have to start looking at our lives geographically speaking. Where could a guy like me get friends? Let's just say I want to have friends that I can talk to. I'm not going to Vancouver or Edmonton or downtown Toronto. I'm telling you that right now. I'm just
Yeah.
not going to do it. Calgary is awesome. Like everybody over 40 is conservative. I mean, the ones that are not conservative, they're just stupid. So ignore them. But there's a lot of conservative people here. Talking to people in Calgary is incredibly easy to do. There are other cities out there that are conservative. Saskatoon is one of them. Regina, partially. Winnipeg they're nutty. They just voted the NDP in. But you still have to find out what pockets of your town or your city that you're in have a conservative populace. Now, there's a lot of clubs. Like Calgary's got 3 of them that I know about. They have these groupings for just over 50. You can just show up and have a couple of drinks and talk to people over 50. You literally have to be 50 to walk in the door. They do check ID. There's groups like that you can get into. Meetup.com. I'm not going to tell you that that's a solution, but it's worth a try. I started going to all kinds of groups, just hangout groups. Folks who want to talk philosophy, and it was over 40. So I went to a whole bunch of over 40 singles nights. Not bad. They're okay. Not phenomenal, but it's something different. What it's doing is I'm not scoring chicks or babes out of the deal, but what I am doing is getting away from this stupid computer and this stupid mouse and this stupid desk and this friggin' microphone. And I'm going out into the world talking to people that I haven't met before. And that's the biggest thing, is to be away from your own pattern. Get out of your own way. Stop being your own jailhouse, your jailkeeper. Stop being your own warden is the word I'm looking for. You got to get out there and do something different. Now, with the libtards, here's something about libtards you need to understand, is that they actually aren't interested in social circles. They're mostly in the political things. If you're on meetup.com or websites like it, they're mostly political. They really are. They're not saying, hey, how about we just have a good time for the hell of it? That's not what left-wing libtards do. I'll paraphrase what they're saying. I'm an angry loser. If you're an angry loser too, let's hang out here and talk about why Trump sucks. All right? Don't go to those. Please, I beg you, stay away from those. We're going to talk about Tinder in a second, so sit tight. I've got a lot of tips for Tinder for you gals out there, because I know we're talking about men, and we only have half an hour to go, so we're going to talk about you lovely ladies out there now. There's a couple more things, guys, so I'm going to quickly really fly through it fast, all right? The woman said this to me, and I thought, all right, I'm going to write this down, and I did. I wrote down everything she said, and I said to her, I have no clue if I agree with this or not. I got to think this through. Here's what she says. To get your lady, or the one that you like, to text you more often if she's not texting you enough, then what you do is you stop the routine of saying hi and good morning and good evening and good night and how you doing. Stop that. This woman says become extremely inconsistent in your texting. And then she says, then surprise her, don't text for 2 days. And then bombard her with texts on the 3rd day. And then from there on in, go sporadically. I said, like, that's friggin' game playing. Don't you think? That sounds really stupid to me.
Yeah.
Melanie, let's get your take on that. Because a woman said this. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
A 44-year-old woman said this. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm not sure where she's getting her ideas or information, but I think it sounds like game playing too. And that's how I would feel if I were to do that. And if I were on the receiving end of that, that's probably how I would feel. So I wouldn't recommend that approach.
Well, I think it's dumb. I think it's high school. I think it's going to get you blocked, if you want the truth, guys. So when you hear women on TikTok and whatnot explain this stuff, and I'm sure that they will, it's game playing. The second that it sounds like game playing, do not do it. And for the ladies out there who are asking me in my email box, yes, I am extremely single. I'm single. I'm divorced 3 years and a couple of months now. And I work out every day. And I'm actually jogging now. You believe this? I can actually do 750 meters before I've got to stop. I'm working on getting to 5Ks without stopping. So my testosterone's through the roof, ladies. Do what you will with that information. All right. Here we go. There's some stuff here. I don't know. Like there's more men stuff here. Let's go to the women stuff. All right. Let's just do that right now. So, ladies, a lot of you think that dating apps don't work well for men. All right. So, men and ladies, this is a big one. It would appear that the vast majority of you just don't know how to talk to the opposite sex. So dating websites don't really appear to be working for a lot of people because of the conversation like I just talked about on my phone here. It's extremely uninteresting. You have to have something to talk about. If you're over 30, you've done something funny, I'm sure, deliberately or accidentally. You've done something awesome, deliberately or accidentally. You've played a sport, maybe. You've learned a skill, maybe. There's got to be something from your life you can pull and bring forward. And you have to do it. Everyone's failing in dating, Melanie, because they just, I don't know, they don't try past 5 or 6 texts or a couple of questions in person. You know, you will find that one magical question if you keep asking more. Try 20. Why give up after 3? Try 20. Someone's going to say something cool, or they're going to go, ding, really? You saw that movie? Really? Yeah. Whatever it might be, there'll be something that you'll find if you'll do so. White Scotty is saying, I live in Montreal, but I refuse to date someone who got the jab. I don't blame you. You know, for various reasons, and I've covered that before on other shows.
Yeah.
But to the ladies out there now, and this is, I'm not being derogatory or insulting in any way. I actually would like to see all of you who are looking for a partner, find a partner. I would love to have all of you do that. But here's why dating apps don't work for women. And I've really thought this through because I've been experimenting with them, and I'm telling you, this is the stuff that pisses me off as an intelligent man. Why do you have pictures of your pets on your profile? Why is there a dog where there should be your face? Okay. And then you swipe and it's a cat. What? Why? What are you expecting from that? Are you so embarrassed about your own face that you can't show it in public? There are really ugly people that put their faces up there. You know, God bless them for doing it. Why aren't you doing it? There's something wrong with you if you think that a picture of a dog is going to get a guy to go, oh, dog. Yeah. Look at that. Shih Tzu. Horrible animal. Like, are you kidding me? Not going to happen. How about this one, ladies? Don't put pictures of food on your profile, especially if it's one of the ones the guy can see first. How stupid is that? Hey, I see a picture of a martini. First thing in my head, alcoholic. Skip. Dog. First thing in my head. Okay, she loves her dog. Her dog's going to get in my way. Skip. Melanie, any idea why ladies do this stupid crap?
Not really. I think maybe they're trying to tell a story through pictures about, look, I'm fun. I'm out for cocktails and I'm a little bit fancy or bougie.
Oh,
or
here's
I
how you
love
say
my
that.
dog. Right. Yeah. Yeah. But really, yeah.
Fun. Look at me. I'm laughing with a beverage.
Put your face in it. I agree. Yeah. If you're going to sell yourself should be in the pictures. Yeah.
Pictures of scenery. Now, in Alberta, there's a lot of Tinder profiles that have mountains.
Wow.
Okay, ladies, when I walk out of my house and I turn left, I do this and I go, wow, there's the Rocky Mountains. I can do that too. I can use a zoom lens on a good camera and take a picture of the mountains and use that as my profile. Melanie, are you going to say like if you see mountains?
No.
Or dog?
No, we want to see each other's faces. So yeah, stop doing that.
Good. Yeah, don't do that. You're not going to get any replies from that. And if you do, it's from losers.
Right. Or bots.
Filters. Don't use AI filters on your face. Nobody wants to see you as a cat or a mouse or an anime character. I don't want to see eyelashes that come up like this. I don't want hearts going in some animated GIF. I don't want to see that shit. What do you look like? And if you're doing that, it means there's something wrong with your own to me anyway, it means there's something wrong with your own personal self-worth. You have a weak self-image. There's something that you're hiding. So if I see those filters, gone, not doing it. Any idea why this is a thing?
I think that women are afraid to put themselves out there because they've got a body image issue, or they're just lacking confidence. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a partner, you are who you are. So yeah, I've got some girlfriends that use filters all the time, and they try and use the subtle ones, but they still, to me, it looks like you're just flawlessly airbrushed all the time and there's no wrinkles. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
not a fan of filters.
You are not a cat.
Well, those ones are ridiculous. Yeah, let's be honest. Those are ridiculous. So
Yeah, and
I,
it's
it,
deceptive.
yeah, it is. Yeah, just be authentic. Take a real picture
Hmm.
and put the real
Now,
pictures up there.
here's one: pictures of you with other men. Hey, how stupid are you? It could be your brother, could be your cousin, your uncle, your dad.
Yeah.
No, it could be a childhood friend. But oh, look at that, she's posing with a guy. Maybe they're swingers. That's the first thing I'm going to think. And I'm not banging him, so swipe left, is it, or X? They got a big X now. You can just go X. That's more fun. I like that. Why do you? Okay, ladies, this is a big one. Why do you have pictures of your children on your dating profile? Okay,
Yeah,
if you're on
yeah,
Tinder, you're looking for Nookie. Why are your kids there?
right.
Don't
And
do
in
it.
a world, yeah, I just don't think that it's right because your family life should be private until you let somebody into that. So yeah,
Bingo.
yeah.
Exactly. And why are kids on a Nookie site? Okay, that's like
Right.
men look at Tinder as laid. Tinder's not a marriage thing; it's
Yeah,
a short-term hookup thing. I
yeah.
see a woman's got kids all over the place. No, gone. I feel bad for the kids. What do they
Wow.
have to do with it?
Yeah.
Keep children away from your relationships, your sex life, your fun time. You're an adult,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? Just, in fact, everybody, don't put your kids on social media at all. It's a
Mhm.
bad idea these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad
Agreed.
idea.
Agreed.
Okay. How about this one?
Mhm.
Deceptive photos. I've seen this a lot with ladies on
Mhm.
Tinder. Oh, God, she's hot. Oh, she's got 9 photos. Tap. Oh, it's the same broad. Hold on. Tap, 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 tap. It is kind of the same broad. So why does she look so great in the first one? And why does she
Mhm.
look like an elephant's ass in the second one? And the third one is from 10 years ago. And the fourth one's from 25 years in the future. It is weird to have that
Yeah.
much inconsistency in your image.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. So don't be deceptive. Why don't you just take 10 photographs of you over the course of a week and put those up there? Because that's the person that your man's going to meet, or the man is going to meet. Um, Here's another one, Melanie. Pictures of you as a kid.
Oh. Well,
Why?
I wouldn't put that up. I think that's crazy, but I've seen it. I've seen it on some dating sites. I Yeah, it's an odd choice to me.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a heterosexual man looking to date women over 40,
Yeah.
and there's a kid on a Tinder no, swipe. I'm done. I'm not even looking at your secondary photo. I'm out because I
Yeah,
think it's
that's
gross. It's
yeah, and
gross.
that's an odd
Let
choice.
me just tell you, ladies, I'm going to tell you a little thing here. Is we went to we went for dancing lessons on Friday of last week, and the only partner that was left for me to dance with was a 23-year-old. Now she was a nice girl, but I'm thinking I don't even want to touch her. It's a kid. I'm 23. That's way too young. So imagine you go to a dating profile and there's a 10-year-old girl on it. I know it's 10 years old in 1977. Okay, but it's still a kid on
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the profile.
Yeah.
And a lot of men are grossed out by that. Like
Mhm.
grossed the F out. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Messages. If you really are serious about being in the dating game, ladies, reply.
Yes.
Reply to them.
Yeah.
If he's saying something like, hey, I notice that you ride horses. I ride horses as well. I noticed the breed you're riding is this. That's pretty interesting if you're riding horses, don't you think? So this guy is engaging with you on your terms, essentially.
Yeah.
Reply.
Yeah.
Say something.
Yeah.
Not hi. Oh, or thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
That's boring. Don't be boring. Reply with a message that's at least 3 sentences in length. And keep in mind, ladies, if you're doing it on the phone, 3 sentences is only about what, 5 words? That's all that fits in a sentence on the app. You can't come up with 15 words. It's pathetic. That's how you're going to be seen. So the guy is going to think, all right, well, she's not interested, and block you. Because with men, it's like fast. Yeah. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, yeah, okay. Oh, she messaged. Brrr. So you ladies need to understand also that with men, I know some of you think that if he answers you within 5 minutes, he's desperate. That's not true at all. We're men. We forget the stupid menial crap out there. So if we don't reply now, while the ping is fresh in our heads, we're not gonna. Like, we'll forget unless we're already engaged with you in some way.
Good
It's
to
not
know.
desperation. It's just, it's a task list. Men think differently. It's a task list. So we cross that off. Okay, replied, good. And then back to what I'm doing here. Oh, there's another ping. Yep, reply, good. Back to fixing the fridge. That's how men think. So I'm not asking you to give us a break. I'm telling you that if you don't see it that way, you're going to be alone. You're not getting anywhere.
Good to know. Okay, that's good information.
Ask questions. Nothing tells a man that, hey, she's interested in me more than a woman who asks questions. And not the stupid crap. What do you do for a living? What's your shoe size is more interesting than what do you do for a living? Really? Because that could be construed as funny. Shoe size. Oh, a 9. And we're men, so we're probably going to reply back with something clever like, it's only a size 8.5, but don't worry, that does not correlate to the stat that matters. We can be funny. And if a guy is going to be funny as such, don't take offense. Flirt back. Now, if you're not the kind of woman that flirts back, you can simply say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't flirt. And then block them and be done with it. You be honest. I'm sorry, that's too interesting or funny for me. Try that. But if you're not asking questions, you're not going anywhere. Now, there's been about 60 plus conversations I've tried to initiate on this stupid Tinder thing, and only 3 have asked me questions.
Wow.
That's it. The rest of it's hi. That's great. Good for you. Amazing.
Crazy.
Cool.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, stay single. Be boring. That's your right. But I'm not going to play that game.
Oh.
Here's another one. We got, let me just check the email box. I got a ping. 1 second. 1 second there. Okay, here's a follow-up. And again, don't worry, you're anonymous. The follow-up is, I live in an area with a lot of liberals, so I don't tend to go out much except for the odd rally or two. In regards to dating apps, I've been on Facebook dating apps since August. I've had a couple of conversations off of Facebook dating, but a lot of libtards get in there too. It's really unfortunate. I have 6 guys that I'm currently in conversations with on the app at the same time. They've all taken an interest in my dating profile because I only have photos of me, and I've also been honest and upfront in the introduction part of my dating profile of my anti-liberal and anti-vidco beliefs. That's awesome. Well, 6 guys you're talking to, I don't see that as a problem. I think you're doing okay.
Yeah.
And keep talking to all of them. The way I've said here, be interesting, engage, ask them questions. But keep in mind, when you're talking to 6, you'll start to crisscross them.
Yes.
Maybe get a dollar store notebook, or in Quebec, they're called cahiers. Get one of those and just keep notes. Like, honestly, just keep notes of which guy is which and what you've said and what you've talked about, because it is a little embarrassing to talk to the guy about, oh, well, how's your mom doing? And it's the other guy whose mom is dead. This is not good. Right. So, but yeah, ladies, you should be honest in your profiles. And I wish that these dating profiles would let me be more honest. I would be honest telling women that I am a fiscal conservative. I despise liberals. Go Trump, die Biden. Trudeau should be hung upside down. And I've got a massive libido. If you don't like it twice a day, just fungu. I would love to be able to say these things, but you can't on the app, because I'm willing to bet that I would get a lot less of these matches with one-word answers. I would tell you, don't be boring. If you're not going to type at least 20 words, piss off, right? But you can't put that on Tinder. There's not enough room to be that descriptive. You can do it on other dating apps like Facebook dating and so on.
See, I've never tried Tinder, but it sounds pretty vague, very hookup-y. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is. It is hookup-y. It's. I just wish that more people were more creative more often. It would be so much more interesting for the guy who's swiping. I mean, sometimes I'll go a couple of days at a time without even looking at it because I'm thinking, boring. Now, and right now, you know me, Mel, if there's something cool to do outside, I'm going to do it. And right now, if you look at my Instagram page, I was able to walk across the Bow River here in Calgary, which is about 400 feet across. It's a long distance. Why? Because the river's down 5 feet and all of the concrete barriers that they've built to create artificial rapids, there's no water. You can run on these things across the rivers. That's cool. I'm outside all day, jogging with my buddies, and I'm not fooling around on Tinder. But you ladies out there who like to jog and do outdoor stuff, you could be doing that stuff with me if you were more interesting on Tinder. All right. Never mind one-word answers. All right. There's a bit more to cover here. Women are asking me in email, why is it? Oh, by the way, Sarah, if you're in Calgary, let me know, because you're a good-looking gal. Yeehaw. Woo. All right. But no last names here. All right. So we'll get into it. Men are not making the first move, and women apparently are very upset about this. Melanie, are women upset about this, or am I reading this wrong?
Maybe some women are. I just feel like it's a change in our culture, and it's okay for women to make the first move, but we got to be careful because women tend to step more into their masculine energy right now because men are not doing their job being masculine, as we discussed earlier. So I think it's okay to make the first move, but don't be too assertive. But you got to get your point across, because men might be a little more standoffish and shy. I mean, the older we get, we've all been hurt at some point. So even though we want relationships, we're all subconsciously slightly guarded at the same time.
I'm not into that guarded crap. I don't get it. Well, I'll tell you why, Melanie, because if I'm going to be dating someone new, they're not the ones that did any of that ugly crap to me in the past. Not a one. I mean, I will be vigilant, but I won't be holding anything that someone else did against the new partner. They didn't do anything wrong. And that is something where I actually, I understand the guarded thing, but if you're not getting into new relationships and meeting new people and letting your guard down and trying some stuff out, you don't grow.
Yeah.
You don't grow as a person. You're going to remain stagnant. So whatever you are today, you'll remain that and worse for the rest of your life if you're not taking chances. So I'm not guarded at all. Yeah. And because I'm a public figure. How many of my personal stories have I shared with a million people? I'm not saying you should share your personal stories with a million people, folks, but I am saying that being guarded, especially at our age, 40 and up, who are you hurting? You're hurting you. Because eventually, if you stay guarded the whole time, that person that you're dating is just going to walk. And
I'm not saying totally guarded, but I think that some people are just subconsciously a little bit afraid of getting hurt again. So, slightly safely guarded. But
when you make a decision based on fear, it's 100% wrong 100% of the time.
Yeah,
that's all. Right? If the person you meet's a psychopath, okay, be afraid of that and leave. Sure, but you're not going to know until you talk to them.
Yeah,
and it's pretty tough for a psychopath to cause egregious harm to you in a Tim Hortons or a restaurant, or a public setting. I wouldn't say go meet the guy at the peak of a mountain. I wouldn't say that. That's kind of dumb. Right? But there we go. So men are not making the first move because widely, especially with the younger guys out there, they've given up. And I really hope that they don't stay in that mindset. They've quit. One of the biggest things is that friggin' Me Too movement. Yeah, okay, Harvey Weinstein, bad guy. Jeffrey Epstein, bad guy. O.J. Simpson, bad guy. But they represent less than 1% of men.
Yeah.
So this Me Too movement comes out where women start making all kinds of false accusations about sexual harassment. And they would call things like some guy is talking to another guy about how good his wife looks, and the ugly woman in the studio there is saying, "Oh, I'm offended. This is not a harassment-free environment. He's talking about sex." Now what happens? The boss has got to make a choice. Now, I would make the choice to throw her out. If some woman complained to me about that crap in my place, I'd throw her out. But I'm a rare cat, it would appear. A lot of men, because of Me Too and other movements like it, they're actually thinking that the cops are going to be involved. So you make a first move, you go for the kiss. In the old days, remember the old days? It was a slap in the face. And as men, we would accept that as no, I'm not interested. Don't do it again. That's what the slap in the face meant. And we just, sorry about that. Now, if you're a cool guy, it's you buy her dinner anyway, and converse. Now, if you really got your head together, that's what you do. If you're not so cool, then you tuck tail and leave. That's what it meant.
Yeah.
But we don't get the slap in the face anymore. We get the cops called. And police in North America are not that smart. They just arrest everybody now. And if a woman says it, it has to be true. And that's what men are terrified of. So, ladies, blame the feminists for that one. And Hollywood. Blame it all. Women are interpreting this fear that men have of incarceration as no spark. Like they're saying, oh, there's just no spark. Well, he's friggin' terrified. And the other thing too here is that you ladies think to yourselves that you're like, I gave him signals. I did this with my fingernails, and he didn't know that that's what he was supposed to do. Kiss me. Really? If you're giving signals and the signals are shit, what do you think a man's going to pick up on? We don't notice that stuff. We're men. You know what we notice is you're hot. I want you to kiss me. Like that. That's how you talk to a man. But you don't go, what the fuck does that mean? That doesn't mean a damn thing. Not to men. To women it does, but not to us. So if you're giving out bad signals, Mel, and he's not catching, it's because your signals suck. That's why.
Yeah,
it's not because there's no spark. There would be a spark if you communicated like an adult and not a teenage girl. Here's one. And this one, ladies, you're not going to like, but don't be boring like the average woman. When you're talking to a guy, no one gives a shit about your pets. We don't care about your friends when you're talking to us within the first, say, 5 to 10 meetings. We don't care. And your cousins, friends, uncles, former roommates, dog, Steve, I think the dog's name is that what it is? We don't care. It's not an interesting story. You're talking about people that we don't know. And you could be in danger of making us dislike the people that you're talking about when you ramble on about these people and there's no point to the story. We don't learn anything. We don't care about the cute thing that your dog did. We don't care about the meow that your cat made. We don't want to see photographs of your kids, your nieces, your nephews, your pets. We don't care. It's not interesting. Do you know why? Because you're not focused on us. Like there is an ego that every man has. And if he's saying, oh, isn't that great? You got a nice kitty cat. Oh, look at that. You've got a cockatiel. He doesn't care. He thinks that telling you that the pet is cute is going to get him laid. That's what he thinks. Yeah. A real man says, I'm sorry, why are we looking at dogs? I thought we were talking about vacations. Man's got to control that conversation. Put the phone away. And then lead by example. Watch this. I'm turning mine off right now. Turn it off. Put it away. And then keep the conversation going. You guys out there have got to say no to this shit. And ladies, don't do it. It sucks. Mel, I've talked for 5 minutes. What's your thoughts?
Oh boy. Okay, you covered a lot there. Let's back it up. My thoughts on
Me Too was the
not,
first movement.
yeah, the Me Too movement that definitely has messed things up as far as men wanting to make the first move. I totally get that. Knowing that and hearing men hearing that women would like you to make the first move again. And I don't know if she's talking first move as far as like the whole second base thing, or first move as far as like first contact and showing interest. That I definitely think that men could do more of, but also the other. But I know some men are respectful and want to make sure that it's safe to proceed. And I understand that. So I think you just, I will go just to go back to whoever's feeling comfortable make the first move. And as far as the whole being interesting thing is, yeah, I get that because I think it goes both ways. Talk about things that are interesting and relevant to a new, fresh connection, and save all the other boring details for when you've been together a while and you're comfortable. That will eventually all come out. So yeah, just keep it interesting. You're not you're not going to retain someone's attention if you don't.
Correct. You're absolutely not. And Lynn says, and vice versa. Yeah. So guys, yeah. See, Lynn knows what she's talking about. Don't be boring, guys. Hey, nobody gives a crap about your Star Wars action figures. Okay, don't talk about that nonsense. Or your buddy Pete who has a hemorrhoid. That's not interesting. Okay, so yeah, Melanie's right. Keep it relevant to the time that you're spending with that particular person. Alrighty. So we want you ladies just to know that when you're talking about these boring subjects, we do not feel like you're interested in us at all. That's just how men perceive it. And we'll tell our buddies, like, holy crap, for an hour and a half, she talked about this goddamn dog. We should not know details. Like when your dog goes poop, every single one is 1.25 inches. We shouldn't know that stuff. They don't talk. These are, no, don't do it. All right. So the last thing I want to bring up here before we split for the night is if you ladies and you guys out there watching, if you want to know why dating is so difficult these days, there's a gap. Now, society is fueling this gap, something fierce, where we've got that whole feminist movement, these third and fourth wave feminist maniacs who have convinced young women, I don't need no man. I is a strong, independent woman. But it's bullshit. You do need a man. You do. And you might be a strong, independent woman, kind of, but your interpretation of that and society's interpretation of that won't line up. I promise you that it won't. So with the feminist movement poisoning women's heads into this I don't need no man nonsense, and then men on the opposite side, because of Me Too and other movements as such, like women are a friggin' liability. And the United States, for whatever the reason, whatever is a woman's is a woman's, but whatever is a man's is hers and his. And whatever is his, even prior to the marriage, is half hers. And in some cases, depending on the state, what he makes a year later is also half hers, plus the alimony. So men are saying, oh, what? Because even the prenups don't work in court anymore. So men have widely just given up on relationships and the idea of marriage. So feminism has just wrecked women. And Hollywood has added to it with all these tropes about men being stupid and useless and all that stuff. Society's paying the price. We're all paying the price for these left-wing ideals that are being shoved in our faces. So ladies, we need you to not be a liability. And we need you to recognize the feminists hate you because they hate themselves. And the average guy out there who's looking for a woman to give his love to is exactly opposite what the feminists are. He's someone he wants to bare his soul to you. He wants to give you everything that he has. And when he's done giving that, he wants to give you more. Whereas the feminists want you to be alone and miserable like them. So pursue a healthy relationship with a man and don't be a liability. Melanie, you've got the last word there. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's good advice, and we have seen the crumbling of the traditional patriarchy, and I think we need to bring that back, and that takes men stepping up to the plate, and that takes the women backing away from that role and live their feminine beauty, like we are nurturers and the peacemakers and the doers and that those roles. I mean, those roles work harmoniously well. So let's bring that back. And I know we're at the end of our 8 weeks here, and I just want to wish everyone good luck on their dating adventures. And I hope if they have some cool experiences, they'll send an email and share that with us. It'd be cool to follow along.
Yeah. Yeah. And to the nice lady that sent those 2 emails to me, keep me posted on how that's going for you. We'd certainly like to know if you're having any luck with anything that we've suggested here. We obviously want the best for all of you. We truly do. There's one question that we did not address yet. So Cheerleader in the Rumble chat is asking, should you buy gifts on the first date or not? Well, I'm the one that leans towards no, because the gift is the meal that you're buying. That's how I see it. Flowers are okay, I guess. But Melanie, maybe you could tell us what ladies would like to receive on the first date.
I don't think any woman would be disappointed to ever receive flowers, but I wouldn't go beyond that. I think that gifts tend to be a personal thing. So unless it's flowers or a dinner, I would say save that till you know the person better and you can curate that gift to be more specifically meant for that person. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got you. What? Sorry, I missed what you said.
Don't be too eager on the gift giving. There's time for that.
Well, I agree with you that gift giving is it is a very personal thing. And I give gifts to people that I really care about, but stuff that I know they either like and it will make them happy for a short while, or stuff I know they need. But beyond that, I'm not giving gifts for the sake of giving gifts. The only time that that's not true is when it's Christmas, and I'll do things like grab a bunch of chocolate and wrap it up and say, here, kid, open this, right? Because there's a lot of friends of mine that have kids, and I'll get them stuff like that. That's just a gift because I like seeing kids happy. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm not buying women gifts on the first date. I'll tell you that right now. Probably not the second, third, or fourth either. It's a matter of I'm not going to blow a ton of dough to get to know you just to find out there's a stumbling block or a wall that we're going to hit. I got the question here. Should we sleep with each other on the first date? I'm not touching that one tonight. That's a whole show all by itself.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not could go on for hours.
Melanie, anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, I just want to wish everyone good luck again and stay in touch.
Always great to see you. Thanks for doing this. Really do appreciate it.
It's been fun.
It has been a blast. All right. So we'll see you soon. Melanie Switzer, everybody, Alberta's best looking and certainly best country star. She's absolutely phenomenal. What a gal. We have had an absolute blast here. We promised you 8 episodes of this. This is episode number 8. If you'd like to see more of this kind of content, please do contact us. You have, well, right there, freedomreport.ca. You can always email me there. That's our public email address. Share that email address with everybody. If you have any questions or concerns, any ideas you want to share, I love reading your emails just like I love reading your letters. So please go ahead and send those out there. If you want more of this kind of contact, though, you do have to let us know. I hope to see you soon. And don't forget the Kevin J. Johnston Show, the political show, is still every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And that's never going to end. Thank you for being here. I love you all, and good night.